Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra. With me is Shail Bhatnagar, and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the day street. The Nifty is back above that 24,400 mark. A 40-point off an uptick is what you see there. When you look at the sectors, it is the banking space that's about 0.5% higher in trade. You also have the realty space that's been outperforming 1.3% higher in trade right now. Metals, consumer durables, private banks, IT, broader markets, and the pharma and the oil and gas spaces are also inching higher, and they have recovered from the day's low point as well. The top movers on the Nifty at this hour are Axis Bank with about a 2% uptick, Hero Moto, Shriram Finance, Hindalco, JSW Steel, Infosys, and Divis Laboratories at this point in time. The top losers, however, on the Nifty includes names like NTPC, that's down 2%. Britannia, Adani Ports, Dr. Reddy's, Apollo Hospitals, and Adani Enterprises are still lower in trade right now. Good afternoon to all our viewers and good afternoon, Shail.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you on the closing 1 hour at Market Today. The story, of course, has been the dismissal by the market of the allegations that surfaced over the weekend from Hindenburg towards SEBI chief Madhabi Puri Buch, the Adani Group, as well as the wealth management company 361. If you just look at how these stocks have behaved, two of them are back in the green, Sakshi. Ambuja Cement 1% higher, almost 639. The low of today was 617. Adani Green 1% higher, 1799. It's recovered from a low of 1667. So that's a 133-point recovery. Adani Ports still down 1.5%, but from 1457 it's improved to 1509, and Adani Enterprises 3149, still down 40 rupees, but the low was 3014. So that's again a 130-point uptick. This, ladies and gentlemen, has been the story as far as the Monday's trade is concerned. And markets, if you remember, 18 out of 19 indices were in the red early morning. All those pain and everything associated with the color red has been purchased by the market. Out of 19, now almost 14 indices are in the green, led by the Nifty Metal Index, the Nifty Mid Cap Select, whose weekly expiry is today, and of course the mid cap and the small cap indices are in the green. Advanced decline ratio is a robust 1240 shares in the green versus 1089. The chemical space is abuzz with gains thanks to very strong show by Excel Industries. You have Supriya Life Sciences, you have Lakshmi Organic Chemicals showing double-digit gains, and of course the newest listed baby in town, Ola Electric, is back up 20%. And Sakshi, it seems that all is well in the world of momentum and volume.
Right, let's now welcome our guest on board. We do have with us Mr. Sunny Agarwal, the DVP, Head of Fundamental Desk at SBI Securities, now joining in. Warm welcome to you, Sunny. Sunny, what was the thought when you were looking at the markets to open today, and what is the thought now that largely the negative news has been digested as if it was nothing?
Yeah, good afternoon, Sakshi. Good afternoon, Shailji, and thanks for having me on the show. Yes, definitely. Had this report been released today morning, I am sure there would have been a panic reaction in the market. But thank God it was released on weekend, and it gave enough time for everybody to go through the report and take a conscious call. I think today's reaction was more of, again, a minor disappointment or knee-jerk reaction at the start of the trade. But ultimately, everyone has realized that it is more of an allegation without any proofs which have been presented by the report. And earlier, we have already seen this kind of report a year and a half back. And people were aware of the kind of strategy adopted by that fund which has released the report. So I think it's done and dusted as of now. I think the market has moved on to those allegations. And again, the focus will shift back to the earning as well as local and global.
Okay. Any key stocks that have come onto your radar afresh, Sunny? Um, on the dips, maybe you would have bought any. Do share with our viewers.
Sakshi, last week we have released one report on High Tech Pipes Limited. It's a small cap company, 2,500 crore market cap, basically into the structural steel tube business, very similar to APL Apollo Tube and JTL industry. So peer sets are APL Apollo, JTL, and so on and so forth. Today at 12 in the noon, the company has released their first quarter numbers also, and the numbers were pretty strong. So we have seen 18 crore PAT reported by the company. So the basic trigger for the growth over the period of next 2 years are basically expansion of capacity. So company is expanding capacity from 0.58 million ton in FY24 to 1 million ton by FY25, and the benefit of the same will be seen over the period of next 2 years. At the same time, product mix is shifting towards the value-added products. So we expect EBITDA per ton to inch up gradually over the period of next 2 years. In terms of PAT forecast, the company has reported 44 crore PAT in FY24, and we expect company to report close to 90 to 100 crore PAT in FY25 and close to 144 crore PAT in FY26. So close to 3x kind of jump as far as the profit number are concerned. In terms of return ratio, although currently the return ratios are in single digit, we expect that number to scale up to close to 17-18% over the period of next 2 years. So we have assigned a price target of rupees 190 with investment horizon of 6 to 12 months. So that's the medium to long term target as far as high tech pipe is concerned. In addition to that, we are recommending many stocks based on the earnings which has panned out during the last 1 month. So Just Dial is one company which we like, reported a very robust set of number during the June quarter. At the same time, what we believe is that there are many leverage to for earning to expand over the period of next 12 to 18 months. So Just Dial is the one company which we like. In our budget peak report, we have recommended Amara Raja Battery again. Today, their Giga factory has started commercial production, and I think the stock is up close to 6-7% today. But what I feel is that ultimately this business will also be hived off, and we will see a new equity partner being roped in by the company. So Amara Raja Battery is the one stock. So ultimately, the companies which are reporting a solid set of numbers, those are the companies on our radar for a short to medium term as well as medium to long term perspective.
Right. Namaste, Sunny, and a very warm welcome to you on Market Today. Always a pleasure to host sensible voice and sensible wisdom coming in from the market. Of course, the knee-jerk reaction on Adani has been purchased into, and high-tech pipes is something that we'll keep on our top radar. What do you make of this the upturn that has come into railway stocks from today onwards? Of course, they went through a very decent bite of profit booking. Today, almost all the government-led railway stocks are up. RVNL 12% higher, 581. Railtel and Incon are 4% higher. IRFC has got its mojo back. The three wagon makers that we track are doing fantastically well. So it seems that after maybe a month or so, momentum is again getting back into the railway space. Would you have a favorite here?
So I think definitely I would just like to step into the technical analyst shoe. I think any big move is followed by close to 30-33% kind of correction, which we have seen historically playing out in many stocks. And I believe the same was the case with all the railway stocks which were in momentum. But having said that, anyway, quarter one were slightly muted in terms of earning. But since it's the order book driven business, we all know that execution slippages can happen and can roll forward to any quarter. So I think sitting on a very robust order book. At the same time, valuation has turned expensive when they were trading at their peak. So I think post everything has culminated together, and post the correction, now I feel the street is again finding interest in terms of buying railway stock. But within railway stock, what I feel is that railway wagon companies like Texmaco, Titagarh, Jupiter, These are the three names where we are very confident in terms of very strong execution over the period of next 2 years. And we continue to remain bullish on this railway wagon company as compared to the railway EPC company as a whole. One has to keep in mind that what we have been hearing from commentary of many companies, that there are some delay in terms of railway execution or plan in terms of launching of railway. So a case in point, I think government is more focusing on non-AC railway coaches to please the guys who are at a lower strata of the society. And to that some extent, the plan has been delayed to launch AC coaches or Vande Bharat. So that's the commentary which has been coming from guys like Amber or BEML for that matter. But having said that, long-term outlook continue to remain robust, and we continue to play this story through wagon companies like Jupiter, Titagarh, and Texmaco. And BML is the play on basically railway metros. Again, there we find that execution order pipeline is very robust, and the company should able to deliver a very good set of number over the period of next 2 to 3 years.
So, Sunny, also help us understand on the Adani stocks as well. Have you picked out any stock within the dip that we saw today? Anything looks good to you despite the kind of Hindenburg 2.0 report coming in, or are you staying away from the space till the time the dust settles?
No, I think within Adani Pack, we have been always of the view that the companies like Adani Port and Cement Pack, ACC and Ambuja continue to remain very robust businesses with sound cash flows and robust balance sheet. So I believe any deep is an opportunity to add all these three names in terms of a long-term investment idea. Other Adani stocks, actually, to be very frank, we don't find comfort in terms of valuation. But having said that, what I believe is that Adani Enterprise is the one company which is a conglomerate, and where we may see many new businesses getting listed over the period of next 3 to 5 years. So if somebody is a high risk, high return seeker, maybe he can look at Adani Enterprises also, who add with a proper asset allocation in the portfolio from a medium to long term perspective.
As far as the Adani stocks are concerned, let's look at some of the biggest buzzers in the Nifty today. ONGC, there's again an uptick of 3% at 342. Are you still looking, at comfort levels that still exist? A sharp spike of 3% odd coming in on ONGC at 342. How would you look at the stock after the rally that has already unfolded?
I think there is still a lot of steam left as far as upside in ONGC is concerned. The reason being that we have seen a very strong set of numbers by ONGC during the June quarter. Again, backed by a slight uptick in crude oil prices on a year-over-year basis. Sorry. And at the same time, ONGC being a parent company of HPCL, I feel we have recently seen uptick in Singapore GRM jeans also spread also. So that will benefit ONGC over the period of next 6 to 18 months. And we continue to remain bullish on ONGC with price target of 425 to 450 and investment horizon of 12 months. Sorry.
There is news that is coming in from ONGC. It says that the company has approved another project integrated development of 4 contract areas under the government's DSF stage 2 project at a cost of rupees 6,000 crores with a peak production of around 4 SMD. This is the unit of gas where GOI has already allowed pricing and marketing freedom under DSF policy. It also says that the allocation of gas produced from new wells as well as well intervention will be at 20% premium to the administered price, and that's the reason, ladies and gentlemen, you see this very sharp spurt that has come in. Without a doubt, I think this is a record high because I distinctly remember 335 as being the previous high. My sincere apologies. The previous high is 345 and this was stuck on 1st of August, but well on its way to recovery and fairly decent volumes on ONGC. The one view that I needed, Sunny, from you is Ola Electric. Two straight 20s. What do you think? I think today's buying circuit is of yes, the buying circuit is of 1 crore 53 lakh shares at 109.44, and because it is at a circuit, so volume has paused, but even now 2179 crores has been traded. What is the view that you have on Ola Electric?
Coming to Ola Electric, first of all, disclaimer, our parent company SBI Capital was merchant banker to the issue. Kindly abide by any standard disclaimer applied on the Ola Electric front. In terms of business, the company will report their earnings on 14th of August, and looking at a sales volume for April, May and June 3 months, I believe a very robust set of numbers should be declared by an Ola Electric. At the same time, I would be keenly watching for now, since the company is listed, obviously management will be hosting an analyst call and will guide us through what is an outlook in terms of full year volume growth for FY 25-26. At the same time, what is the timeline for launch of new products like motorbike? So they are likely to venture into the motorbike as a segment. And third and the most important aspect is kickstarting a gigafactory that will again add to the margins of the company. So all these 2-3 factors are something which I will be keenly watching out during the earnings call. And I believe the number, I am expecting the company to reporting a very solid set of number for quarter 1. The reason being that if you go to the Vahan portal and check their sales volume number, the numbers have been very robust for April, May and June 3 months, wherein the company will be reporting the numbers.
Okay, your institutional clients must be laughing their way to the bank, given the tepid response that the IPO got. Almost everybody who applied in bulk got as much as they wanted, and here is now a situation that in 2 days the counter is up 37%. But this is what markets are all about. When you have absolutely no hope of anything, you don't apply, and then you get 220s, which is 220% circuits one after the other. And when you apply in an oversubscribed issue, you get nothing. So at both ends of the equation, haath mein kuch nahi aata. But seeing ONGC, it's the turn of Oil India to make an intraday record high, now 676. Sakshi, what are you watching?
Some earnings that have come in. Subros reported a profitability of about 35 odd crores. That's jumped from 13.6 crores. The stock rallied in trade right after that. I think now it's up by about 12 odd %. Yes, there's a sharp spike right after the earnings have come in for the company. And similarly, there's Kaveri Seeds also that's reported an uptick in its profitability again, which has now come in at 292 odd crore rupees. So strong profits for both these companies. The stock has moved up about 5 odd %. Let's first address Subros. The auto ancillary space has been buzzing. Your own sense of how would you look at Subros now, Sunny?
Yeah, I think a pretty robust set of number in line with the previous quarter. So I think YOY comparable quarter was on a low base. And post that, we have seen during the last 2-3 quarter, margins have expanded from the band of 6-7% to 8-9%. And the reason being that the product mix is shifting towards high value sports utility vehicle. So M&M is one of their client, and we have seen a ramp up in volume from M&M benefiting Subros. So I think Q on Q, I believe inline set of number. YOY, yes, pretty robust because of the low base of last year. And I believe the quarterly number of 30-35 crore number is sustainable as far as Subros is concerned.
The Subros view coming in. Another stock that's shot up in trade today, almost over 18%, is Inox Wind. This is on the robust execution guidance and the strong Q1 show. The company has posted its best financial performance for Inox Wind, as they have pointed out. A 50 crore rupee net profit. The income has risen compared to a loss that the company had reported in the previous fiscal year. 19.7% now higher in trade. How would you look at Inox Wind?
Again, Inox has reported a very robust set of number, as you rightly pointed out. I think cash profit was close to 92 crore, and a normalized profit after tax 50 crore. A robust addition in terms of order book. So we have seen 254% year-over jump in order book. So company sitting on close to 2,900 megawatt order book. And at the same time, we have seen a very good pickup in execution. So I think a very robust set of number as far as Inox Wind is concerned. However, in terms of valuation, I think now it has turned slightly pricey. And if somebody want to deploy a fresh capital, I think it is advisable to wait for stock to for a pullback and then deploy a capital. But again, the view here has to be slightly longer because you can't expect stock to continuously deliver 20% kind of circuit day after day. I think all the positive has been priced in from a short-term perspective. If you have a medium to long-term perspective, definitely on a pullback one can add in the pool.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at 2:51 p.m. That's 9 plus 30, 39 minutes of trade left. As good a time as any to look at all-time highs in a market which seems to be recovering from a major news that could have set back investor sentiment. The usual names, Sakshi has just discussed Inox Wind. It's now 19% higher, fresh record high. Voltas is doing phenomenally well, 10% higher. We just mentioned Oil India, and of course one more stock from this space. Okay, we'll stick with Oil India as the record high. Now let's look at the list of pharma stocks at fresh peak. Aurobindo Pharma 1450, Ajanta Pharma 3053, Glenmark 1500, Natco Pharma 1483. Natco came up with its earnings at about 2:10 p.m. and the numbers were pretty good. The stock continues to gather momentum even after earnings, so no question of booking profit, still up 3%. Sunny, what are the pharma spaces, especially mid-cap stocks, which are gathering your attention? This is a space where consistently we are seeing record highs in mid-caps and large caps. What is your view here, and what is SBI's research talking at this point of time? Your favorite pick?
I think pharma has been a relative outperformer in terms of financial, in terms of numbers, the delivery of numbers for this quarter. And we have seen across the board very good set of numbers, whether it is large cap companies like Lupin, Cipla, or for that matter, mid-sized companies like Glaxo or Natco. I think this sector was underrun and was underperforming between Jan to April-May period. And post this good set of number, I think is now leading the market from the front. So I think if somebody want to deploy fresh capital, maybe Natco Pharma is the one company where we find the valuation to be on a relative cheaper side, and at the same time continue to report a robust set of number. Among the mid-sized company, Glaxo Pharma, again, one of the leader in terms of general medicine on antibiotic side. At the same time, leader on pediatric vaccine side. I think Glaxo Pharma is the one company that is on our radar. Among the large cap, Lupin is the one company which we feel will continue to report a healthy set of number over the next 2 to 3 quarters. Again, one mid-sized company, Aarti Pharma Lab, there we expect the earning growth to continue in the band of 15 to 20% over the next 2 to 3 years, CDMO player. So I think these are the few names where we are bullish from the pharma space.
So that's the view coming in on the pharma pack as well. Where else are you finding value at this point in time? Are there any fresh sectors that have come onto your radar or stocks as well, Sunny, that you'd like to highlight where fresh money could be moving in now?
I think one of the sub-sector where we have seen a decent set of earning is NBFC, non-banking financial companies. So if you see companies like Shriram Finance, they have reported a very good set of number. Chola Finance have reported a decent set of number. Aditya Birla Capital, which is predominantly a play on multiple financial services business. However, majority of the business comes from the NBFC. So I feel that NBFC as a sector looks pretty attractive in terms of adding to the medium to long term portfolio. And in case there is a rate cut cycle, I believe that NBFCs will be the first sector which will benefit out of this rate cut cycle. And hence, keeping that view in mind, we continue to remain constructive on NBFC as a sector.
Okay, got that. I think the Nifty is turned absolutely flat at this point in time. About 5 points lower in trade. I think 24,372 is what we now see on the Nifty. So it's flattened out absolutely. It turned red also. 24,364 right now. Sunny, what could be the key contributing factors here now? Increasing volatility and no confidence yet for the bulls to continue.
Maybe I think volatility is something which will we have to bear. Everyone has to bear for the next 2 to 3 months. There are many events lined up. So this week, inflation data that will be coming out in US. So Street is keenly waiting for that data to get a cues on rate cut from the US central bank. And so I feel that overall markets, key benchmark indices may continue to hover in the band of 5 to 7%. And the nature of the market is such that we may continue to see a sectoral rotation and stock specific activity. In terms of Nifty, as I was talking to a technical team also, maybe once the Nifty is convincingly able to cross 24,500, 600 bands, then only we will see a fresh leg of up move. Till that time, 23,800, which is a kind of 50-day DMA, is a very strong support, and market may continue to trade in this narrow band for the next month or two.
Fair point. 2:57. We still have about 33 minutes of time left, and it's a fairly decent downtick in a span of 5-7 minutes. Suddenly we were at 24,421, and you see this 50-60 point downtick coming in. Sunny, one stock that I wanted, actually two stocks that I wanted your understanding on, and they belong to a space where you are bullish, but Bajaj Finance and Geofin are doing nothing at all. I mean, at a time when we have a roaring bull market of sorts, Bajaj Finance is below 200 DMA for weeks together, and of course Geofinance has also lost its mojo. What do you think is going wrong?
No, I think for Bajaj Finance, there is nothing wrong in terms of performance from the company side. I believe it is the valuation which is wherein a typical case of HDFC Bank, where we have seen a consistently high valuation multiple, and that need to be backed by a very high kind of growth rate. Then only we will continue to see the valuation re-rating. But Bajaj Finance, again, the performance is robust. We are seeing consistently 25-30% kind of growth in the current market scenario. But valuation is something which is keeping the price trading in a very narrow band for as far as Bajaj Finance is concerned. In terms of Geofin, what I feel is that still it is an hope story. So they are kind of building the business brick by brick, and maybe it will take some time before actual numbers start coming in for Street to assign a fair value. So it's a more of an hope story. Maybe as we see the progress on many multiple front, especially on lending and wealth management, mutual fund businesses that they have set up along with the BlackRock. I think Geofinance is a stock where if somebody has got an horizon of at least 3 years, then only one should look at Geofin, because it will take 4 to 8 quarters for a business to achieve a significant scale. And for at least community to assign a fair value to the business. So I think on a relative basis, yes, Bajaj Finance continue to deliver a very good set of number. Valuation is something which is on an expensive side, and hence trading sideways manner. Geofin, I feel it's a more of an hope story, and if somebody has got a vision of at least 3 years, then only he should add a Geofin in his portfolio.
joining in. Senior Technical Research Analyst at Stock Access. He's now with us on the show. Brijesh ji, warm welcome. Good afternoon. Good to have you with us. How would you really see the market move that's panned out throughout the course of the day today, right after the weekend jolt that we got from Hindenburg Research? How would you assess the impact on the overall markets as well as on the Adani Group?
So, good afternoon, everyone. Regarding with the indices been considered, no doubt, the report which we are talking about, and there was been observed, from till 3 o'clock, I would be saying, and after that again the drama had started. Regarding with the Nifty has been considered. It was looking like a pullback rally, and the pullback rally can be seen towards the level of 24,500 or 24,600 where the resistance lies for the Nifty. But again, it has broken the support which I was looking like 24,370 mark or 50 mark. It's been trading below that level, and supply again had started. So immediately the support is being considered. Nifty again 24,000, 24,109 should be acting as a support. That should not be get broken. Whereas the resistance has been considered, we will look out for 24,500 or 24,550 mark. The bank Nifty has been considered, then it was trading near the resistance zone, that 50,600, 700 mark, and but we were not able to sustain, and once at a time it was been giving it was outperforming the Nifty. For in today's session it was being considered. Again the small profit booking has been seen. So immediately if we talk about 50,000, 50,100 would be acting as a support which should be watched for. Bank Nifty has been considered. And regarding the resistance, immediate resistance lies at 50,700 or 800. And if we are able to surpass, then 51,100 to 51,200 will be coming in that way. So overall, still the phase of consolidation is going on. I feel that if we are not breaking the swings lows, that would be the best part to comment for the Nifty or the Bank Nifty has been considered.
Okay. Namaste Brijesh ji, a very warm welcome to you, sir. Fairly strong bout of profit booking happening intraday on the Nifty. This is also a truncated week. Remember, Thursday is a holiday on Independence Day. Therefore, options premia are getting tweaked to subtract 1 day from Nifty's F&O expiry, which is Thursday, where the expiry has been pulled a day in advance. Your favorite stock in the pharma space, Brijesh ji, what looks good on the charts, especially mid-cap pharma?
So if I talk about the pharma, then Piramal Pharma charts look promising. Still in this type of market, stock had made a new 50-week high and still is trading near the day high only. So looking at the chart, making a base and again moving up, that sort of movement has been there, then it indicates that further movement can be seen. So right now 185 around the stock is quoting. So we trade somewhere around 180, 182 around, one can take a buy call in it with keeping a stop loss of 168 and then play for the target of 205 to 207 odd level. Another pharma which look promising is GLS, Glenmark Science Pharma. Overall chart performance is fantastic with the volume it has given the breakout. If you look at any of the indicator, they have made the swing highs. So looking at these factors, it indicates that further movement can be seen. So if I talk about Glenmark Life Science, present rate can be used to go long. With the support is little bit on the deeper side, somewhere around 930 around the support comes. So if someone wants to play with that way, one can look out to buy present rate with the stop loss of 930 and then play for the target of 1100 or 1110.
Okay. Got it. Well, a lot of interesting names within the F&O space also rallying sharply. So let's keep our focus there. Voltas, for instance, is higher in double digits in the F&O space, 10.5% up in trade today after a long haul. Jubilant Foodworks after those earnings is again up about almost 10% within the F&O space as well. These two stocks, the way they have come back in the F&O, what do they indicate, Brijesh ji?
Regarding with Voltas has been considered, I'll say that still the stream has been left, nothing wrong in it. The volumes have been increasing as the price has been increasing. 1586 around the stock has been trading, and previous swing highs in the month has been broken. So previous swing high was somewhere around 1555 around. So that should be kept in mind if someone wants to play on the long side. So present rate or dip should be used to go long with keeping a stop loss of 1550. The resistance, if I talk about, then it lies somewhere around immediate would be 1625. But I feel that it has a potential to go all the way to 1700 and above that level if someone has a view of at least for 2 weeks of time frame. Jubilant food chart is more promising as compared to Voltas chart has been considered. Present rate can be used to go long. 654 around the stocks trades, around 620, 625 around the support lies. So one can keep that thing as a stop loss and look for the target of 690 as first. And if we are giving closing above 690 and if everything's with the charts and with the market, then it can move towards the level of 720 also. But 685, 690 one can keep as a ideal target for 1 or 2 weeks with a stop loss of 625.
Okay. So those are the two stocks which are the top movers within the F&O space as well. One more space within the Nifty that's catching our attention is Hero Moto, 2% higher, and tomorrow the earnings come in for Hero Moto as well. Within the two-wheeler space, the way these stocks have come back, anyone that shows you strength, and how about Hero Moto ahead of earnings?
So if I talk about the, especially with the Hero Motor chart has been considered, with lower tops and lower bottom formation stock has been trading, and with the shorter term time frame it has taken the support on the longer term moving average somewhere around 5,100 or 200 around. So it has made a base and we can see pullback. That pullback should be till the level of say 5,500 around, but the major resistance lied at 5,650. So if we talk about the trend reversal, then 5,650 one can keep that thing in mind. If that thing happens, then we can see stock making a new high. Otherwise, I feel that 5,100, 5,150 on downside and on the higher side 5,500, 5,520 is a range which Hero Motor should be kept. But whereas if I look about the Bajaj Auto, the trend look little bit promising as compared to Hero Motor Corp is been considered. So Bajaj Auto, if I talk about, then present rate can be used to go long 9,619 and around, so precisely 9,700 around the stock is been trading right now. So keeping a stop loss of say 9,500, one can look out to buy and play for the target of 10,000 and above that level.
Okay, Namaste Brijesh ji, स्वागत है आपका. Any favorites in the railway space? The government announced 24,000 crore expansion for the northeast, and all railway stocks are doing very well. Some of them have restarted their uptrend. Which ones on the charts look best to you?
नमस्कार साहिल जी, सी ओवरऑल अगर चार्ट की बात करें तो आई विल से दैट लुक आउट RVNL, Railway Vikas Nigam, if we look out on the 4-hour chart, the stock had made a nice flag pattern and the breakout has been seen 575 around the stock is quoting. No doubt stock already had been moved up by 11%, but still if I talk about the stream, there is a lot of stream is left on the higher side. So flag pattern formation has been formed, so 575 around the stock quotes, one can keep stop loss of 525, and the target which I would be looking would be minimum would be 670 around zone. If we surpass that level, then the next level would be 720, but 650, 670 should be the level which one should look out for RVNL. The present rate can be used to go long with a strict stop loss of 552. RFC also looks good on the chart. It has made a base at around 175 to 180 zone. Now it at 184 around stock has been quoting. So if one wants to play for a pullback, one can look out buying RFC also with a stop loss of 178. and the hurdle which I would be looking would be 192. If we are giving closing above 192, then it can jump towards the level of 210. So both stock RVNL and RFC looks promising from a railway front is considered.
Okay. So that's as far as the railway space is also concerned. Let's also understand from you, how would you look at the entire metal story unfolding? A lot of stocks showed an uptick today. JSW Steel, Hindalco, Steel Authority, they're all up and about in trade. Is there any strength within this space that you see that can continue?
So as a overall metal stock has been considered, I don't feel anything right now promising, but as a sector I am promising. But individual stock, if I talk about, then two stocks look promising. Number one definitely would be in a short, if I consider, then SAIL look promising. No doubt the stock, after beaten up on the result basis and falling down with lower tops and lower bottom formation, now it's trading near the support zone of 125 130 zone around. So if 125 doesn't break, we can see a pullback. That pullback really would be towards the level of 145 to 150 zone. So one can keep eye on Steel Authority of India. And another counter to watch would be JSW Steel. The stock has been trading with above all the moving averages, consolidating in the range of 880 on downside, followed by 930, 940 on the higher side. So that indicates that the trend look promising. So 918 around the stock score. So if trades below 910, one can take a buy call in it with a stop loss of 880, play for the target of 940, 950. But I feel that level would be broken and we can see stock jumping towards the level of 1000 or 1010 zone. So if someone wants to play on metal, these two stocks look promising.
Okay. Balrampur Chini has come out with its numbers. The net profit has come in at 70 crores versus 73 odd crores for the company. This is on a year-on-year basis. Revenue has come in at 1421 crores versus 1389 crores. EBITDA just a slight uptick, about 166 odd crore rupees is the EBITDA on the operation level, and the margins have slightly dipped lower from last year same quarter of 11.7% to about 11.68% right now. The stock is just about 0.6%. It's been choppy and is slipping lower in trade right now. Brijesh ji, Balrampur Chini was one of the stocks that was rallying sharply when the entire sugar space was up on the move. How would you really look at the earnings? Not very promising on any of the parameters right there. What would you say?
See, in today's session, we have seen stock making a new 50-week high of 505.90. If we look out the 4-hour chart, it had been on an indicator front, it has made the high lows formation. So I feel that we might see stock trading towards the level of 480 to 84 zone. And the support, if I talk about, should be like 470, 472 zone. So that should not be get broken. So if but whereas the trend is been considered, still it's been trading with higher tops and higher bottom formation. But as a risk reward ratio has been considered on buy side, I would be saying if it comes around 480 to 485 around, one can take a buy call with the minimum stop loss of say 470 and play for the target of 505 to 5010. And if surpassing that level, the next level to watch would be 530. But right now, I would be waiting that stock to come towards that level of 480, 480, whether your risk reward ratio would be in your favor.
Okay. Actually, it's Balrampur's tepid earnings that have sort of sparked a nice uptick on a lot of sugar stocks. So Awadh Sugar is up 8%, 645. You have EID Parry 2.5% higher, 797. Trivedi is at almost 390, 2.6% higher, and a whole host of small companies. Magad Sugar 1.5% higher, Vishwaraj about a percent higher, 16.2. Uttam Sugar 323.5. So it was Balrampur's earnings that sort of triggered this move in the sugar space. What else is buzzing in trade in the last 15-16 minutes of the market is Granules India. Needless to say, this is a record high. This one needs to be looked into. and Suzlon for the first time since January 2010. So that's a 14-year period. Brijesh, Suzlon is above 80 rupees. What are the charts for the medium term telling you about Suzlon?
So if I talk about the Suzlon, as we have been aware, the story from 2008, if I'm not mistaken, the level of 400 around the stock has been quoting, and after that it went down all the way to 6, 7 or 8 rupees. Look out the weekly chart. Weekly chart has been promising, and it made a high of say 50 rupees. That 50 rupees was in month of Feb 2024. After that we have seen profit booking and that profit booking went, and the stock made a low of say 35 around. Now the stock has been trading up. Roughly from the March 18th onward, still it's been trading and it's making a new high only. So overall trend has been positive. The one plus point is as the weekly candlesticks are forming one after the another on the higher side, so do the volume have been increasing. So I feel stock can touch at least a level of 120, and but stock should not break 65 odd level. So that is a condition apart. If someone wants to play on the long side, keep a stop loss of 65, play for the target of 120, and the time frame to hold would be at least for 3 to 4 months, or it can even extend towards the level of 6 months. So if someone wants to play on the Suzlon for a long side, present rate can be used to go long, but the stop loss of 65, play for the target 120, at least for 3 to 4 months.
Okay. Well, it's 3:17 right now, Brijesh. Would you have any BTST, STBT trades for our viewers?
I was looking actually granules, but if I'm not mistaken, last time also I've spoken about granules, so it would be looking sir, आपको granules ही अच्छा लगता है बार-बार chart पे. And so, but there are two more stocks which look promising. One is ONGC, if I'm not mistaken. The chart is looking promising for the BTST. Has been considered 341 around stocks is been quoting. One can look out to buy with the stop loss of 335 and play for the target of 352 to 354. And another is BKG Food. In today's session we have seen 4% and above tick. So 849 around the stock has been quoting. Keep a stop loss of 834 and play for the target of 870 or 875.
Okay. You said granules, ONGC and Bikaji Foods, and especially on ONGC, it was Rudramurthy right in the morning who picked out his first stock as ONGC in trade today, and that has shot up in trade 2.5% higher, and now Brijesh is giving his vote of confidence for a BTST trade on ONGC right about 10 minutes away from the day's close as well. What else is buzzing? It's the real estate sector that is the top moving sectoral index in trade today. Is there any stock that looks positive to you where you would like to take any fresh positions within the realty pack, Brijesh?
Loda looks good, looks promising. Sakshi, if we talk about the stock had beaten from the level of 1590, we have seen stock going down all the way to 1120 or 25, and now the pullback has been seen. So that pullback rally I am expecting at least to touch towards the level of 1370 or 75. So if someone looks for want to play with realty, then Loda looks good. Present rate of 1300, one can play with this thing. Stop loss would be 1270. Play for the target of 1365 or 70. If that has been surpassed and if we are giving closing out of that, then sharp pullback would be there, and that pullback would be till the level of 1480 zone.
Okay. Brijesh ji, I am sure you must have heard this song Bar Bar Dekho. Really old world song.
Shashi Kapoor wala Bar Bar Dekho, Hazar Bar Dekho.
Yeah. So this was in response to your view on Granules India and ONGC, which you sort of did not want to look at. But I think it was a Shammi Kapoor movie, if I am not mistaken. I am also trying to look at the song. There's another movie that's come in 2016, but I'm not talking about that one. Okay, yes. So this is a Chinatown movie in 1962. So that would be Shammi Kapoor and possibly Helen at that point of time. That's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. Please always feel happy to comment on a stock that is doing well, and therefore Granules and ONGC should come on your screens again and again. बार बार देखो, हजार बार देखो, ये देखने की ही चीज़ है. Record high on Granule, almost 697, and ONGC will also probably hit a record high tomorrow, if not today. The closing will be a record high on ONGC, that much I am certain. 343, 3.85% higher. The government making all out efforts to increase production of natural gas by giving higher administrative prices for this product. 321, ladies and gentlemen, time to wrap up the market. The Nifty is flat. It's risen dramatically from an intraday low of 24,220, went all the way up to 24,480, and is now somewhere like 24,361. The story of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is this dismissal by the market of this Adani report and the unsubstantiated charges that Hindenburg has put on SEBI and the SEBI chief. It's fairly visible from the kind of action that you've seen on prices. The stocks opened fairly in the red, but intraday it has been a state of buying. Adani Green is in the green, 1.9% higher, 1812. It's recovered from a low of 1667. Adani Ports has recovered from a low of 1457 to 1503. Adani Enterprises is marginally lower, just a percentage down, 3154. The low was 3014, and across the boards that's true for ACC, Ambuja, Adani Energy Solutions, AWL. In terms of broader stocks, Pharma continue to rally sharply to fresh record highs, and of course the mojo is back in select railway stocks. This is from my side, Sakshi. All yours.
Okay, so erstwhile in the morning, viewers, we had highlighted for you that Bharti Enterprises, led by billionaire Sunil Bharti Mittal, is looking to buy 24.5% stake in British Telecom Group PLC, the UK's largest mobile and broadband services provider. And Sunil Bharti Mittal is actually doing a press conference. Let's cut into that and listen to what he's about to say.
Time, you never say never. Who knows what the board of Airtel will decide at that point in time. With a very large cash flow and India's capex, becoming smaller within the size of its EBITDA, there could be opportunities globally for Airtel to go. So I will not rule that out. Would Airtel have an ambition to be a global company? I think it already is one of the few handful of companies which operates in 16, 17 countries. We consolidate Africa within Airtel India. And if tomorrow there will be opportunities to do more, I think it will not shy away. It has a lot to offer. And I can tell you, people.
Okay, so that was via ANI that we were getting to hear from Sunil Bharti Mittal, detailing as to what the thought process of Bharti Enterprises and the subsidiary looking to buy that stake of 24.5% in British Telecom is concerned. Remember, it is Bharti Televentures UK Limited, the wholly owned subsidiary of Bharti Enterprises international investment arm Bharti Global, that could be looking to buy this equity from telecom services provider from Altis UK as well. More on that a little later, but we'll start winding up the show now. Thanks a lot, Brijesh, for being with us on this special edition. Markets are muted, 9 points are lower in trade as far as the Nifty is concerned, 24,360 right now for the Nifty. Most of the sectors which are up and about are realty, consumer durables, metals, oil and gas, private banks, broader markets, mid and small caps, IT, financial services, and also the pharma space. But what's not done well today is the media stocks, PSU banks, FMCG, infra space that's not participated today. Top movers on the Nifty: ONGC, Hero Moto, Axis Bank, Infosys, and Divis Laboratories. While on the lower side, you do see the stocks which are dragging today are NTPC, Adani Ports, down by 2%, Dr. Reddy's down by 1.8%, Britannia, SBI, Power Grid as among those top losers at this point in time. We'll wrap it up at that. Many thanks for joining in onto this closing edition of Market Today. Thanks from both Shell and me. But do stay tuned. There's a lot more coming up right up next on your screens.
Now, what will happen in the market, only time will tell. But the fact is that at a time when we are grappling with a lot of issues, which is the yen carry trade, the weakness in the market from a record high, and of course 2 successive weeks of negative close,